Good morning, Sam. Welcome to our office. Could you tell a little bit about yourself as what do you do as an operational excellence manager in QUANT China?
Yeah, thank you, Henry, for inviting me. So the key responsibility for myself is looking after the delivery of our contracts and the contractual performance within China. I've got an organization at the moment with 150 employees and a handful of direct employees of those, mainly our site managers who are responsible for the individual contracts and deliveries there.
So today we're going to talk about operational excellence and when did you think that operational excellence, or as you call it OPEX, become a strategic necessity for QUANT and more generally speaking in pulp and paper and in specific for the maintenance business?
Well, I mean, operational excellence as a terminology and as a concept has been around for quite a while. I think in our business, for as long as we have been around, it has been a necessity to outperform at least previous baselines, etc., and continuously improve. So that is very much in the DNA of what we do as a company to deliver the commitments we have with our customers. And so it's been around for a long time.
You mentioned that the operational excellence has been there for a decade, for a long time. So what I want to know is how has it evolved from the, let's say, from the 10 years perspective, what it was 10 years ago and what it is as of today, for example, from the KPI perspective?
I think one of the biggest changes has been that it has gone from a purely cost-driven exercise to a efficiency and cost-driven exercise. So it's the cost is very much part of it still and equally important, but the other element that has been added into it is the efficiency or the effectiveness of certain functions within the business and the business as a whole. I think that is most probably the key change that I have seen in the last 10 years.
How does that apply for QUANT as of today?
Well, it applies to all aspects of the business. So we are a people business. We are data driven and process driven. So decisions are made based on facts and numbers, which we collect internally from the business, from our customer sites, and report them back to show trends, to show development, how things are going. And I think that is most probably the essence of the operational excellence, again, to be better all the time, and that means you also need to compete with yourself. So I think it's very much applicable to all aspects of what we do and our core processes, and we can talk more about those later.
You mentioned about the continuous improvement piece. And we at NPS, we emphasize continuous learning in our everyday doing. How do you see the continuous improvement if we talk about the plant or the plants that you are managing? How do you see that on the shop floor level? How do you manage that?
The management is a connection of our core processes and the interconnectivity between those. So if you want to achieve continuous improvement, you need to know a baseline. You need to measure the relevant KPIs, and then you need to make action plans based on those to achieve a goal that you want to achieve. So it's a bit of goal setting and strategy and everything rolled into one. How you see it on the shop floor is visualization on these boards that we have across the plant and in the different sections, and again where these employees can look at what their contribution has meant for the company overall performance, and usually we measure factory output or a downtime or something like that from a KPI perspective. So it's quite tangible, and then that is flowing down to the individual level and they have a quite good understanding of what their individual contribution means for the overall big picture.
That is very, very important that you get that message through all the way to shop floor.
Correct. And again, like I said before, we are a people business, and if we cannot get our people's buy-in and support and real actions and hard work in what we do, it just doesn't happen. So the software is not going to fix it or anything. It is people who have to do people's work, and that's how it is.
People business, I like that. So as you mentioned, the site managers are the key players in delivering on day-to-day basis the strategy and the execution what Quant has and operational excellence. So what behavioral aspects are you looking from the site managers?
I am looking for a way to build trust within the organization, because that is a very basic fundamental for us to succeed. And the behavioral traits I'm looking for in the senior managers in this business, and particularly the site managers and the site management teams, is accountability and both results and process-driven thinking. Because things do change on our sites. It's a dynamic environment with our customers, with our own people. There are different projects, there are different phases in the maintenance which drive this sort of changing baseline, and that means that people need to be situationally very adapted to what they are doing, and the accountability from the leaders inspire motivation and trust from the people in the organization, and that I think is for me the key I'm looking for. Technical things and these types of issues are easy compared to the people aspect. So that is for me the key aspect.
It's a very dynamic situation. Things are changing. You have multiple stakeholders that you need to address. How do you address these criteria when you are hiring a senior management for Quant?
I think one of the key things we look for and key traits we look for is the entrepreneurial side of the individual that we are talking about, because again, this is a team game. No one person can deliver this, and it has to have the whole team's support, including supporting functions in the business, and all of us need to play together and go to the common direction with our customers. And I think the entrepreneurial side in a business like us, like you mentioned, we have multiple interface levels. Actually, all of our people, technicians as well as managers, they are all having a customer interface, which is very important to maintain and sustain. So it is the key thing for the person to be a driven individual, or the team to be a driven team, and through that get the entrepreneurial thinking, and sometimes also quite often being able to think outside of the box, and not only follow documents or a manual, because in the maintenance field this is not really possible to do. We go in all the places that no other people go, and that is it has to be shown in our daily life. And I think the entrepreneurial spirit is for me the key thing I look for in senior management.
China is a huge market and all the competition is here. How do you attract this talent? I mean, what sets Quant apart when you are looking for and maybe after looking, retaining the talent within Quant?
I think key for us is the career opportunities and the opportunities for advancement in the individual's career, even post-Quant. And we have many examples of this where we have hired very young and inexperienced on paper people, and the outcome has been absolutely fantastic. These people are hungry, they want to learn, and we keep feeding them. I think that is the most important thing to retain people. The working environment, the career advancement opportunities, and then trainings, etc., which come as a byproduct of that, I think is very important to be able to retain talent. Money alone will not do it, it has to be about, there needs to be light at the end of the tunnel, and preferably not the train coming towards you. It should be something which is a positive thing to look forward to. So it's very much relating to that, and then sharing knowledge between our different sites. People are getting to know each other on a personal level. We are building a family, so to say, and trying to keep that sort of mentality and thinking alive. It's people in our business are not just a number. They have a name, and they have a family of their own, most probably, and so on. So it's quite personal, and I think that has paid off in the past.